Far too often we're hurt by other people, whether it's a marriage, a relationship, a friendship, whatever. And sometimes that hurt can really hit us deep down inside of us. And that hurt can continue to keep playing on in our lives. And sometimes it happens when we're children or whatever time in our life. But the secret is to learn how to let it go so that you can live a life that you're fulfilled in, that you're not scarred with. And it's something that we all need to do. Welcome today to Let's Get Real Special. We're here to talk about this and to create something that will help you to move forward in your life. My name is Glenda Kroll, and today I am one of your hosts and my lady.
Hello, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Harvick, and I am your other host. And I love it when we bring these specials to you because that means someone with us is very, very special. And this lady that we're going to talk to today is no exception. And we've interviewed her before, and I know people have totally fell in love with her. But she has, when the first time she sent me this program that we're going to talk about, I looked it over and it was brilliant. I was just so impressed with how this came from her heart and what she wants to do with this. So I think that right now, I can't do it justice. It comes from such a pure heart of our guest today, and that is B Von Squires. And I would like to get her up here and get her started in telling you what this mission is, how it came to be, and what it's going to do for others.
Hello, lovely lady. Welcome today, and thank you so much for joining us. And such an important topic that we need to talk about today. And especially, more importantly, is talking about the program that you're going to be doing, a workshop that we're delighted to be also
Yes.
participating.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, ladies. Thank you so much for inviting me here to your platform today. I am just bursting right now at the seams, ready to tell you all about what I have been given. What it's such an honor that I was able to create this program. And like you said, it came from nothing and then it became something. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. So thank you so much, both of you, for having me here.
You're so welcome.
So we know you're on a journey to help others to get through the pain that they have lived through. But the best way that we go through all of ourselves of our journey of helping others to create it something usually that we have gone through ourselves.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, for I counted it up. I counted it up yesterday. For 26 years of my life, I was in a dark wilderness, just wandering around aimlessly, no hope, no idea of a future, and was very depressed and lonely in all sorts of relationships, trying to fill the inner side of me that was broken. And through all of that, first I was traumatized and then I became further traumatized as I was wandering through the wilderness. But I knew there was something inside of me that knew that that would not be my life forever. I knew I was gathering information. There were times when spirit would come to me and to let me know and to assure me that he was there with me, that I was not alone. And then I was able to find my healing at the end of all of that. And so what has happened is, as a result of me healing my trauma, I was gifted a book, a workbook that has a 4-phase trauma healing process within the workbook. And so that's where it all began, is
Yeah.
with the workbook, the energy harvest, a spiritual model for the enhancement of your life. Because what I understood is that we are a mind, body, and soul, and we have to nurture and heal each of those components of ourselves so that we can be aligned and move forward in a positive direction. Otherwise, we're just spinning around in an illusion that makes us think we're moving forward, but we're really not. And that was my experience. Now, as far as this goes, this wonderful challenge here, I was trying to enact my power, if you will, in another arena. And the The wall was up, it was not budging. I couldn't get anything to happen. And so that's when I went into my prayer and meditation, and I said, okay, God, what is it? If you don't want me to do this, then what is it that you do want me to do? And so he gave me an analogy. Wait till you hear this wonderful analogy. He gave me an analogy that says, okay, well, when you're a mom and you have children that won't eat their vegetables, what do? You hide it in the sauce. You blend up those, tomatoes along with the spinach and all of the other wonderful vegetarian vegetables, and then you stick it in the sauce. Or you make the meatloaf and you pack it with the peas and the carrots and all of those sorts of things that are good for the child, because they can't see the vegetables. They don't know that they're actually eating them and becoming healthy. So what God was telling me is, I need you to hide the healing in the fun. I need you to hide the healing. And I was like, well, that's interesting. How's that supposed to work? And he says, I want you to make a challenge. He says, I want you to feed the need and I will feed the spirit. And I thought, oh, wow, this is sounding really exciting. Give me more, give me more. And then I just got this whole visual and I saw everybody happy. And then he showed me another analogy. And he says, okay, so when you have a wound, which we're all here because of the spiritual wounds, but what he was showing me is the physical wound. Whenever you have a physical wound and you go into the doctor or to the ER, they're going to have to debride that wound. And that can be very painful. Let's say, for instance, you scrape your knee. Now you have gravel and little pebbles in your skin, and they have to clean it out. But first, they give you anesthesia to help with the pain. So what he was telling me is the happiness and the joy and the challenge and the winning and the prizes and all of that energy serves as the anesthesia while we heal the spiritual wounds, while we debride those wounds so that new life can flow into their wounded areas so they can heal. Is that amazing or what?
That is, and I want to go back just a minute because you said you were gifted this book, but a person didn't gift this to you. The idea was gifted to you from source, so you are the author of this book. I just wanted to clarify that so people didn't think someone just gave you a book. This is all you. This is all you.
This is all, what God has gifted me with. I find it a gift. I call it a gift because I'm just so grateful to be able to help people with my pain, for him to be able to take everything that I went through and be so creative with it in a way that it invites other people into their own personal healing. And that's why I'm so transparent about what I've been through, because see, I don't want people to look at me and say, oh, she's so polished. She has no idea where I've been. Well, I want to tell you, I have every idea of where you've been because I have been there myself. Homeless, wandering the streets, hungry, washing up in a McDonald's bathroom. Those kinds of things is as low as my life got. And so now, as a result of my healing, I had to heal the trauma. I had to come to be able to forgive myself for squandering my life. I had to be able to forgive those who harmed me initially. And once I was able to forgive, then I could move in the right direction, a positive direction, and start healing my entire total life. And so that's what I want for everyone else. I want people to feel the same freedom that I feel, the ability to walk into crowds and not be anxious, the ability to not allow past human lived experiences to dictate what I will allow for my future, right? And so that's what this is all about, just showing people what trauma looks like, because as well as I do, some of us or most of us were born into a traumatic situation, a dysfunction, if you will. It was already in the family unit when I got here. I didn't have a choice on whether I wanted to be in a healthy family or a dysfunctional family. I didn't have that choice. And so now I have a choice on what kind of life I really want to live. And I want everyone to have that same choice. So that's what this is about. I want to help people.
And let's be honest of saying that, when it comes to your family, none of us have had the choice.
Right.
Of who we're born, of what we've experienced. Some of the things in our lives have happened to us. And let's put it this way. it's not that they happen to us, but they actually happen for us so that we can change into the way and we can become stronger. So, you know, part of your healing and thing is realizing this type of event of shifting your mind to learning of taking what has gone on in your past and learning from that, so and recognizing the strength that has come from that to being like today. You look at you, who you are and where you have come from, and you would have never been the person that you are today had you not gone through what you went through. Correct?
Absolutely, Linda. Absolutely. You know, what I'm learning is that the challenges and the adversities that I faced only built resilience within me. They gave me it's like you climb the hill, which is the challenge and the adversity, then you peak the hill and then you go down the hill. But going down, you had the momentum, but if you hadn't climbed up, you would never have the momentum to move forward. You see what I'm saying? So the challenges and adversities that we go through in life only give us the momentum to continue moving forward, unless of course, unless of course we choose not to, because it's always a choice. The old life, the old way of being, the old way of thinking is always going to be available. And sometimes people don't have the courage to move past that, and I'm hoping, and I'm praying and I'm believing that this challenge, will allow people to be supported in a group that gives us the synergy, if you will, to provide all of us an opportunity to grow and to evolve. And I'm just hoping that the one that comes in with the small flame, will stay long enough so that we can fan it until it becomes the inferno, until it becomes the fire within their spirit that tells them, yes, you can, yes, you will, and we are here to do it with you. Each journey is individual, but we don't have to journey alone. And that's what I'm trying or hoping and believing that this challenge will provide for everyone.
Okay, so let's step back for a second and let's explain to everyone. You are doing, for people coming in and listening to us now, whether it's live or they're listening on the repeat, that you're going to be holding a challenge, what is it, 5 or 4 days?
No, 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 no. It
No, no.
is.
Okay, so please elaborate on this for everybody. So let's put it out there, because it's such an important thing in our lives that we need to heal, because it's like, if you live in your life and you still want to live your life, let's say if you break a leg and you're going to live your life with a cast on your leg, you'll never be able to walk with great strength in your body. So the same goes for if somebody has had a trauma of any sort in their life, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And statistics show that at least 70% of our nation has had trauma in some form, whether it's economical, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, whether it's ethnical. You know what I mean? In terms of race relations, we've all experienced some form of trauma, mainly women, but men also. And so this challenge that we're doing, and what makes it such a challenge, well, there are several things that make it a challenge. Okay, so showing up each week will be a challenge because we have other things in our life. So there will need to be a commitment. Okay, so that's one of the most largest challenges is the commitment. And what I say by that, now coming into this, there is no real buy-in except for the workbook. So you'll purchase a workbook, the healing, the energy harvest, the spiritual model for the enhancement of your life workbook. That will be the material that we'll use to go through the challenge. Now, once you purchase your workbook, you will be gifted a complimentary gender specific journal that we created for you. We have a one for men, one for women, because the women's and men's issues are different. And so we speak to each of those issues in their journals. In each of those journals, there's going to be a weekly activity. Now, when you do that weekly activity and you send a photo that you have completed it, you will earn 25 points. You will earn points for showing up. You will earn points for having your camera on for the entire time of the meeting. Now that's not mandatory, but you will earn points if you have your camera on. You will earn points for participating in the chat, all kinds of points. And then at the end of the week, you should have 100 points. At that time, anybody who has 100 points, your name is going to go on a spin wheel. So you will win prizes. We have all kinds of prizes, like this wonderful t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
And this lovely mug. I got mugs and t-shirts and silicone bracelets and all kinds of prizes. But what I want you to also know is that I realize and Spirit realizes that you have a physical need as well. And that is why there is a cash component to this challenge. And at the end of every month, there will be a big spin for $500. But I'm telling you that there has to be points earned throughout the month, participation, showing up, doing your exercises, playing the games, but it's going to be so much fun that you won't even realize that you're actually healing. And so the reason that cash component is there, God gave me another analogy, and he reminded me of it's a Bible story, or a Bible fact, whatever you want to call it, where Jesus fed the multitude with the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish. And so it was millions of people were fed. It was a miracle that happened. And so what God was showing me is that same type of miracle has the possibility of happening here, where we bring people in and they think they're coming in for the money or, the physical need. But what happens is the spirit gets fed along the way. That's where the vegetables get stuck in, And so that's the actual process itself. And so each month, because there are 4 phases, each month will feature a phase. The first month is identifying the trauma. If you were born into dysfunction, you have no idea what trauma really looks like. We're going to show you what it can look like. And if you identify, that's fine. And if you don't, still fine. You'll be educated. More than anything, we want to educate you on trauma. We don't want to diagnose you. We're not trying to treat you. We're not trying to change your mind. Just giving you some education about trauma. Awareness is where it has to start. And then on the second month, it's going to be about forgiveness mindset. And we know who's all, the guru of the forgiveness mindset, Miss Nicole Harvick. And so she's going to be our guest speaker for that month. And then we're going to move on to achieving success. And if there's anybody I know that can achieve a success and reinvent themselves at any age, that is Miss Glenda Kroll. And so she is going to be our guest person for that particular phase. And then we'll move on to the sustain phase, where we talk about sustaining all of the momentum, sustaining all of the healing, and building upon that for your future. And so that is the entire process. I think I've gotten everything. Are there any questions about that at this point?
Well, I'm wondering who would you say is your ideal client or your ideal guest? Who are you looking for?
Okay. This challenge, I thought about that and I prayed about that, and it's starting at 25. Okay, from 25 to 65.
Okay.
And I said 25 to 65 because of the mindset. By the time you're 25, I'm thinking that you've been through enough trauma and you've been through enough pain that you're ready to make the commitment, that you have the ability to commit to this. And so it's men and women. I don't want anyone to think that it's just for women, men and women. But at the same time, when we do our special breakout rooms on the second week of every month, they will go into their own rooms, all women together, all men together, to actually process on a deeper level, where being together in one group may not provide the opportunity or the atmosphere for intimate healing. And so we broke them up. And so there will be a man who's going to process with the men about each one of those topics: the identify, the set, the achieve and sustain. And then I will speak with the women about those 4 things as well. And so various diverse backgrounds in terms of ethnicity, in terms of income level, in terms of education levels, just 25 to 65, and everything else is just dependent on what you have as an individual. We're not being specific in those areas. It's just diverse. Does that help?
Very
Okay.
much. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
Yes.
you also discussed earlier that there was a cost associated with this for the workbook. Can
Mhm.
you give people an idea of what the costs are associated?
Absolutely. It's $25 because you're not going through Amazon. You don't have to pay a higher rate. But since it's connected to this challenge, the book is only $25. And with that, like I said, you will receive a complimentary journal, which is so priceless. And the reason we wanted to bring the journals in is because at the same time that we're educating people and giving them all of the ways to have fun and earn cash and prizes, we also want to introduce a process, right? Journaling helps our process. And so if I'm giving away 25 points for journaling and doing your exercises, well, then it gets people in the practice of journaling. And that's what this is all about. How can we get them in the practice of journaling? I know. Put the activity in there, give it some points that will actually equate to prizes, and maybe they will do it. And so that's where the journaling came in, and it is beautiful. The colors and the different images in the journals, oh, they're just so magnificent. I didn't do that part. That was my friend Cindy Marshall, and I want to give her big kudos for doing that for us, and it is gorgeous. What I found is that most people don't like to journal because they're afraid that someone is going to find my secrets. Someone is going to find what I have written down, my innermost thoughts and desires. Someone's going to read that and use it against me. So no, I'm not writing anything down. So what this is online, where you can download it to your computer, where everything that you write or type in is safe on your own personal PC. So we thought about everything. We tried our best to think about everything as it relates to giving people the ability to have that power to change their lives without the fear of reprisal and on the opposite side. So yeah.
And we talk about as well, so time frame. So is it an hour? How often, and for how long?
Thank you so much, Glenda, for all these wonderful questions. So it's going to be 4 months, okay? Because there's going to be one for each phase, and it's going to be 1 hour long on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. So on Wednesday nights, starting August 7th at 9 p.m. until November the 27th at 9 p.m. And the time frame is right around the time where children are starting to go to school. You know what I mean? Those school supplies and all of that. That money's going to come in really handy for that. And then at the end, we end right before Christmas and have another big bonus. So someone's going to be able to use that to buy Christmas toys for their children. I mean, that may have been something that they've always wanted to do but couldn't afford to do, but now they'll be able to. So we've just taken a look at everyone from their human experience, to try to or do our best to meet all of the needs. And the need for fun, the need for activity, the need for interaction, that social interaction, because trauma has the ability to isolate us alone and away. And so we're trying to open it up and say, hey, here's a space where you can come. You can be safe here. We welcome you. We're all journeying together, and it's going to be fun. And that's the part I want people to know most of all, is that you're going to have a ball.
Wonderful. And because it is 4 months, is there any repercussions as to if someone can't make 1 week? How do you handle that? They just don't get the points?
Correct. No one's going to get kicked out. You will not be terminated from this opportunity. If you can't make it, you will be able to just jump back in when you can. And now, of course, we don't want you to miss too many, because we need you. Your presence is needed. Everyone that is going to be here is a component of what is going to be experienced. And so without your input, we're going to miss something valuable.
Right.
And so we want everyone to know how valuable they are. I believe that everyone who is going to come here has been designed and ordained by spirit to be here in this place at this time to receive this blessing. And so this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I want to encourage everyone else to understand. There's something here for you, something special for you here. So yes.
So at the end of the 4-month program, what will that person be being able to obtain from all this 4 months procedures?
Thank you so much for asking that question. Most people will come in this challenge not understanding trauma itself or how it affects their own lives. So at the end of this challenge, they will be informed, number one, about trauma. They will understand the importance of energy alignment and how forgiveness is the key to obtaining that. They will earn power of choice because now they're able to see how their choices affect their future. Through this challenge, people are going to learn how to visualize a future that they want. They're going to learn how to imagine something for their lives. And so at the end of this, they will have a toolkit for success. They will have met friends. I can only imagine that it's going to be much, much bigger than even this. But these are the things that I can say that they will achieve. Just being empowered and unafraid to live their lives. And if I can get them there, if we can get them to that part where they are empowered, they have courage to live their lives instead of allowing life to beat them up, and instead of feeling like they're at the mercy of life, they're going to understand their role in life and how they are the author and creator of their futures. And so this is what I want people to know.
Yeah. And is this limited just to the US, or would you accept other countries?
Oh no, I would accept anyone who has, gone to the link, purchase your book. If you already have a book, we wanted not to exclude you as well. So I want to talk about that now. So if you already have a book, don't think that you cannot participate, because we created an event ticket, which is the same price as the book. And so you would just purchase a event ticket, and that would get you access to everything that we have for you here. And then I do want to say the $500 winners of each month will receive a one-on-one session with me, to look forward to maybe let's creating a 5-year plan for your life. Let's see, where do you want to go next, and how can I help you get there? And so we'll have one of those type sessions for each $500 winner. And if it's the same $500 winner, well, then that person will, because that could be likely. The thing about that is, even if you win on the first month, you are still eligible as long as you have your points, as long as you're doing the activities in the journal and answering the questions in the book, you have the opportunity for the big spin at the end of the month. And so what I also want to tell you is that with the big spin, if for some reason, like you were asking, Nicole, if someone missed a week. Okay, so if you missed a week and you weren't able to be there at the end of the month, if you have all of your questions answered in the actual workbook, you automatically get on the wheel.
Nice.
And if you don't have your work done and you did miss a week, then you have 5 minutes to appeal to your peers and ask them if it's okay if you can get on the wheel with them. And so this is also going to help people to articulate their feelings, articulate what it is they want to say, because you have to convince these people that you deserve to be on the wheel. That's going to have to come from your heart. That's going to have to be an intimate talk with your group. And so I'm just so amazed and just so blown away by all of the details that was given to me as I was creating this challenge. I did not do this, people. This is not me. This is not me. I am just the vessel, the grateful vessel that is being used to create this opportunity, and the one that's doing the work, that's me. But other than that, the idea didn't come from me, the energy didn't come from me. Who's going to be here, I have no control over that. And you know, it's so funny because even I, at this stage in my life, still have to practice these principles. I still have to tell myself, oh, that's your ego talking, get out of there. Come on, humility. Come on, humility. Let's shut that ego down, because I don't have any control over how this turns out. My job was to create it. My job was to build it. And now I have to sit back patiently and allow God's presence and his power to send people as he will. And that is tough for me because I want to control the whole thing.
Oh, goodness. That's amazing. And it's just like the old saying, if you build it, they will come.
Exactly. And so that's where I am now, just waiting for everyone to come. And people are coming and they are registering. And so the last day for registration is going to be August the 4th, which is that Sunday, because I will have to have time to get the last few books out to anyone, and that will be the absolute last day to register. And so, of course, if you want to register, I'm definitely going to send the link, you know, so that you can have that available to you as well.
And
So
how
for
many people can you take?
Well, it's the internet.
Okay.
It's open. I said 30 people because I wanted to keep it intimate, but that's not up to me either. It's just open for registration for anyone who wants to be a part of this wonderful, amazing, transformative opportunity. And
Beautiful.
yes, and I'm just so grateful for it. So grateful.
So let's put it out there that anybody who's interested in joining in, what is the name of the challenge again?
Okay, it is the Energy Harvest Emotional Healing Challenge and $2,000 giveaway.
Wow.
And okay, so for those who can either comment below challenge, and B Von will send out the link to you, DM it to you, or you can reach out to her directly. And there is a link in the from on our description on our video, which is her site that you can contact her directly and tell her again challenge, and she will send you out the link directly to register.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful.
So the whole idea, and it's part of the whole idea about life, is, you know, we sit back so often and we worry about, you know, of other people's, what they see or what they think of us, and we sit back and we don't take action because we're worried of what we're going to be perceived with, or ourselves, is this going to be the right thing, instead of thinking about that. This is where the mindset comes.
Yes.
It's about turning around and saying, I need this. I need to move forward in my life and make some changes. And that's why I need this challenge. So,
Absolutely.
right? Taking action means changing your life for the best. And that's what it's really about.
Absolutely, Glenda. You're absolutely right. And there are people who have noticed things about their lives that they don't quite like, but they're not really sure how to change it, but they want change, but not sure how to go about it. This would be the perfect opportunity for that person to come and just become educated. If nothing else, just come for the education piece, because you will learn all about trauma. You'll understand how it affects your life, even the decisions that you make and the relationships that you have. There was a reason that I continued to date the same energy form in a different body with a different face. It's because I had low self-esteem. It was because I didn't think I could do any better. And I had the illusion that I was doing better because I was changing partners, but I was still getting the same results. And it was because I needed to change on the inside so that I could attract more of that change that was going on within me. And so what we understand about energy is that whatever energy I put out, that's what I'm going to attract back. And so if you want to shift your energy, if you want to know how to clean up all of that stinking thinking, well, this is the challenge for you. And I'm telling you, you will learn all about that and so much more.
And there's nothing worse in life than having that pain that goes on and on and on. It's that thing that keeps harping in your mind because something's happened, and you keep reliving it. And it's very common, isn't it?
Yes, it's so common because guilt, guilt and shame will play in the back of our minds. And even if we can shut it down for a minute, oh my God, just that one moment of reprieve. But the thing about it is, because we don't have healthy coping mechanisms, we will turn to drugs, we will turn to alcohol, we will turn to risky behaviors so that we can just shut that thought process down, stop that pain, even if it's just for a moment. But what that does to us is it re-traumatizes us and keeps us locked into that guilt, locked into the shame. But if you want freedom, then you need to move forward. And we're here to show you how to do that. The actual workbook itself talks about guilt, it talks about shame, and it allows you to get in there and see exactly what it is that's keeping you worried in the background. Mhm.
I love it. I love the fact that, when you work on yourself, the most important things start happening, because the happier you are with yourself and with your life, it starts to penetrate outwards, and then other people are affected by how you are. So, if you are a miserable soul, then you're going to be putting that out there to others. But
And
if,
that, mm,
right?
yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And
Yeah.
we have to learn that we want better things in our own life, and we've all go through this. Is part of life and growing and living, but the also part is learning to build onto yourself, and getting real with yourself about who you really are. And we don't need to stay stuck when there's people out there who can help others to transform, and that's why we're here.
Absolutely. You ladies are so amazing. I love the way that every Wednesday you come here and you bring us people that are going to actually give us a new thought process, someone who is going to enhance our life in some way. And so I'm so grateful to be here today to talk about this challenge, because that's exactly what it's designed to do, to give you an opportunity to transform your life from what it used to be to what you want it to be, and then give you the courage and the tools and the support to move forward with that, so you can change your lives, so that you can do something different, so that you can get different results. We're going to teach you how to raise your vibration so that you can match with the frequency that you want. If you're low and you're miserable, you are on a low vibration frequency, and you are going to receive nothing but low and miserable things. However, if we can get you to get to gratitude and start thinking about what you're grateful for, then you're going to start raising your vibration to a different frequency. And so that frequency that you're now on of gratitude is going to bring all kinds of wonderful things into your life, wonderful people into your life, wonderful opportunities in your life. But if you don't know how to raise your vibration to that different frequency, then you're going to stay locked into the lower frequencies and not be able to see the hope that is available to you. So this challenge is here to bring you hope, to give you practical tools, not just a bunch of talking. We're going to give you tools that you can use so that you can create and develop yourself and the life that you always wanted to live. Woo!
I know
Yes.
that's, and there's no one to get to know better than yourself. You should
Yes.
know who you are, what you desire, what lies within you. And once you develop a relationship with self, everything changes.
Oh my gosh, that was so powerful. That was so powerful, Nicole, because there is an exercise, a mirror exercise, where you stand in the mirror and you observe yourself. You look at your eyebrows. You're grateful for your eyes. You look at yourself and you say, I love you. I love you. And it might feel awkward at first, but at the end of this challenge, you do that every day, and you're going to see a new person emerge, that new confident individual that you may be meeting for the very first time.
Nice.
Yes, yes. Whew. I'm so excited, ladies.
I'm excited too. I'm very excited, and I'm also very honored to be included in this. So,
Yes,
this
me
is
as well. Yeah.
yeah. When you first spoke to me about it, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I mean, immediately I knew this was something big.
Immediately, I didn't know who was going to be involved, and so I prayed and I meditated about it, and Glenda's face kept coming to my mind. She just kept coming to my spirit. And then we were on a platform that we shared together, and we were so in sync that night that every time I posted something, it came up as her, and every time she posted something, it came up as me. And I thought, okay, I hear you. Glenda must be
Yeah.
involved. I get it. And so I reached out to her.
It's true. It was a very bizarre thing that was happening, and I couldn't understand it. And and then we
Yeah,
sent a message to each other and said, why
what?
is it every time I'm writing something, your name keeps coming up, like it's as it's coming from her. And then she told me that it was doing the same thing, and it was like, wow, this is really weird.
Yes, and little did I know that it was because you were supposed to be connected to this amazing challenge. Your presence and your value is connected to this challenge. And like I said, nobody knows about reinvention of self and achieving great success after being knocked down, after being having to change everything. Nobody does it better than you, Glenda. So I'm just so grateful that you said yes. And I'm so grateful. I can't wait for them to meet you.
Well, I think that we're all on the same type of journey. We have a mission, and our mission in our life is from our knockdowns to help build others up. Because, every time I had come through something, and most of my life, I had to do a lot of these things by myself. And especially the last time after I had gone through my own thing, I sat back, and the first thing that I kept saying to myself is, nobody should have to go through this alone.
So
And
true.
and today, I think with social media, the biggest problem is too many people are alone, and it's becoming an epidemic. So join us on this challenge so that you don't have to go through things alone. There are people who have been through it and have made it to the other side. And we've all learned some major lessons through this. And these lessons are what we want to share with you. And so that you can get through this faster. You see, when we try to do things alone, we get hit by blocks that pull us back sometimes even further. So the whole idea is when you have mentors out there that they help you get through the blocks faster. Don't waste time in your life. Like time is so precious. Don't waste it on things that will hold you back. Spend the time. It is a commitment. Realize it is 4-month period, but it's 1 hour a week that you have to put out, and you're putting that out for yourself. You're not putting it out for somebody else.
Mhm.
And what we are looking for is for you to grow in a loving manner, so that you can turn around in 4 months' time, and you'll look at yourself in a very different way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then they'll be able to go and tell other people how their life has changed. They'll be able to share these tools with their loved ones and people that they care about. So each one teach one, each one reach one. And so
Yes.
while you were thinking about this and you were talking about how we go along alone, what came to my mind was a single thread and how fragile that single thread is. But when you add other threads and twine them together, now you have something sustainable. Now you have something that is strong. And that's what we are here to give each and every participant. We're here to give you the other thread to wrap around your thread so that we can strengthen you and empower you so that you can move forward as a new person with new goals themselves. You know, there are so many people that have ideas, but they're so afraid that to fail that they never move through with the idea. The one thing I want to tell you is I heard this from Les Brown, and he was talking about how the graveyard is so rich and it's so valuable because so many people died with their greatness inside of them. And I don't want that for you. I want all your music to be sung before you leave this earth. I want everything that you have encountered in your life.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know, we can't hear you.
No, I didn't know you can't.
Okay, you're back. Yeah, I thought you were gone for a minute. But when you
I
really
was
think,
emotional.
oh, and this is, and I know this is such a special thing you're doing and have done and put together. But you know, in the big scheme of things, what's 1 hour a week?
Exactly.
1 hour, 60 minutes. I mean, that something that will change your life forever. That's not a very big investment, but there's one thing that is really, really important, and that's to invest in self. So many of us look around at other people and give more to them than we give to ourselves. But when you do invest in self, you can give out far more than you could ever even imagine. And I'm sitting here as a testament to that, as are you, B, and as Glenda. We both know, all of us know this, that investing in ourselves is the first thing we need to do before we can invest in others.
Absolutely. The investment that you make in yourself will come back tenfold, hundredfold. And like you said, it's only 1 hour. You're going to spend it doing something. You might as well spend it with us having fun, learning about trauma, winning prizes and playing games. And you might as well be using it for that, an investment into your life. So, because once you do this, you're well on your way. It's not like you have to do it again. Once you open up your mind to receive this information, and once you have these tools and a practice, you are well on your way.
Yay. It's exciting.
The other thing that people don't realize is once you go through this as well, you also, the way you build yourself up, you create more self-esteem, more confidence in yourself. Because when we are having fear in ourselves and in our body from what we have, we pull back, right? So we don't do things because of something that somebody might have said years ago that made you now question yourself, question your decisions. And I can tell you for my own self that my decision making has definitely changed through the years, because when I make a decision, I make it quick and I stand by my decision because I've thought it through. And the reason I spend that time thinking through is to making sure that I look at things on a very circular way. So I see all sides of the coin, to say. But the most important thing is as you grow, these things build up. And that's why going through and getting out, like taking the garbage out, once a week you got to go and take the garbage out for the garbage man to come and pick it up. Well, we don't realize how much garbage we leave in our own bodies, and we don't take that garbage out. And that what happens is it festers within us ourselves. The worry, the angst, the turmoil that we live through. And what people don't really realize is in so many times in our lives that people develop all sorts of ailments. And those ailments are really from the stress that we have lived through because we sit back and we worry and we have all this. So part of this journey is so that you can take your garbage out and leave it there on the curb so that you're not carrying this around with you all the time. And then you become more mindful of yourself with that strength within you. And that's what we all need more of. Instead of worrying about others, it's time to forget about the others. It's time to learn that you can say yes to yourself and no to what isn't on your mission to moving forward in your life.
Oh, wow. That was wonderful, Glenda. That analogy of taking the garbage out. That is so awesome. And so we will meet every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, and they can take the garbage out and they can put other great things in at the same time. How about that? I
Well,
love that. I
yeah,
love that. And like you said, you can't move if you have all of that garbage in, because you're going to be sick in so many other ways, because it's all connected. The mind, the body, the soul, all connected. And so when one part of us is ailing, it affects the other components of who we are as well. So taking that garbage out of my thinking will help me feel differently, will help me move differently, will change my trajectory in my life, because now I have a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing things, because now that garbage is gone. So great job on that one. Yes. Woo, I can't wait for people to meet both of you.
Oh, thank you.
so as we're, closing in on the time now, I want you, Coach, to tell us, what is it that people need to think about themselves. Let's just tune into the mindset of going in to this 4-week challenge that you're promoting, and that Nicole and I have been so grateful that you have invited us on your program to help teach, to also inspire and to build others up. So please give us some information and some things for people to think about during this time.
Okay, so moving up to the challenge, I want you to think about the commitment that is going to be required. Okay. I want you to know that you are worth the commitment. You are worth the time. Your family is worth you getting healthy. Your children are worth you getting healthy. But most of all, you are worth it. I want you to think about all of the things that you wanted to do but haven't had the courage to do. I want you to see this as a hope shot. I want you to see it as an opportunity, because truly that's what this is, an opportunity to come in and into a safe, secure environment with other like-minded individuals who are also seeking education, seeking healing, seeking a new way of being their best selves. And so this is what I want you to think about as well. I want you to come in here with an open mind, right? An open mind, because when I'm open minded, then I'm able to receive what is being given, as opposed to having expectations about how it's supposed to go. I want you to just let any expectations about how this is supposed to go, just let them just drift away, and just remain open minded as possible. Come in here with an open, willing spirit and an open, willing heart. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I promise you, you will get everything that is meant for you in this opportunity. And so I am loving this. I'm here to hold your hand throughout the entire process. I know you can do this because I did it, and I'm just as mind, body, soul. We are the same in so many ways, and so if I can do this, I know you can do this too. And I'm here to show you how, because I've done it.
Thank you. Beautiful. Very well said. And before we wind down, my dear soul, my co-host here, as we always come together, how would you like to end the show?
There's so many amazing things that are going to happen with this program, but I know firsthand, I will be speaking about forgiveness, and I will tell you that my mother passed away from not practicing forgiveness, and that was an epiphany for me that what I needed in my life was forgiveness, because both were through divorces. And what happens is your body is at dis-ease with something that's still lingering in there. Forgiveness helps you get rid of that and helps you return to self. So forgiveness is such an important component of this program. But another thing is, it is not selfish to love yourself. And this is another thing that's going to transpire when you start going inside, recognizing who you are, coming to terms with things, forgiving things, letting go, releasing. It is really helping you morph into the person you came here to be.
Yes.
And that is so important because you're going to get to know a new you. That is what happened to me. And what happens when you do start loving yourself, you love on a very different level. You love from a soul level, not just a body level. And people ask me, well, how, you don't know them, how can you love them? Because I know what the soul is, and I love on the soul level, and that's how I want to be treated. So what you put together, B, is just it's so amazing. And I will tell you that I'm just very, very blessed to be a part of it. And I want others to take this journey that all three of us have taken. And it's that journey, it's a circular journey back to self.
Yes.
Beautiful. And before we come to an end of this, I first of all want to thank you for everybody for listening, and for Coach B Von to thank you for creating such a beautiful platform for alls to come on. And just to remind you, in our life, we are given opportunities that are given to us so often. And one things we tend to do is we tend to ignore what's really standing in front of us. And if you're listening to this, that means that this is meant for you and you heard this for a reason. And it's time, sometimes we don't know what we don't know, but sometimes when we sit back and we listen to something, you can realize that there's something that has been holding you back in your life. And you need to work on even that little bit. Sometimes it's just, it's that little tweak in your life that can make things change for you and create so much other things. And just holding the love in your heart, which can create so much more in your life. So I
Mm.
want to thank everybody very much for joining us today on a special Let's Get Real, a special of our lovely, wonderful friend here, Coach B Von Squires, who has been sharing a beautiful journey that she is bringing to life to us all. And we look forward. Remember to comment below here on this video here, to put in challenge, and or we're all involved in it anyway, so you can reach out to us, any one of us, and we'll make sure to get you a link, so it's no problem at all. But remember, you deserve this much for yourself. That's what it's all about. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And let's really get real within ourselves. It's your time. Thank you.